Hi, Kevin Retcher here, owner of First Meridian Mortgage. Today, I want to talk about how to shop interest rates. And also in the news is you're going to hear a lot about refinancing over the next 45 days to 2 years. Okay. Everyone's expecting Jerome Powell to cut rates in September. President Trump's been pushing for that. It may or may not happen. But here's the thing. Interest rates typically drop before a Fed meeting if there is anticipation of a potential rate cut. A lot of people are waiting for that, right? That could be a mistake. Rates are lower now, and if you have an opportunity to refinance, I recommend you take it, because what's going to happen is when Jerome Powell cuts rates, there's going to be a surge, supply and demand. Lenders will back off their interest rates once the rate cut happens, because there's more people refinancing and they don't need to be as aggressive. And then they'll potentially lower those rates maybe a couple weeks later, unless Jerome gives us a surprise, right? So lower rates before the cut. When the cut happens, probably higher rates. So I would check out rates between now and the Fed meeting. But I'm going to teach you also how to actually shop interest rates. And it's pretty simple. You can use my live rating engine on my website. Go to firstmeridianmortgage.com. If you double click on the rate quote orange button, right, it's going to take you to a rater. This rater, there's two versions, one I use internally and one for the web. This is the one for the web. And it's going to quote up to 20 of my investors. It's going to only give you 5 of the quotes. We get a lot more on our back end. So it's going to give you 5 price points. So let's just kind of walk through, since we're talking about refinances. If you're new to the channel, my name is Kevin Retcher. I'm the owner of First Meridian Mortgage. I'm a licensed mortgage broker in Virginia, Maryland, D.C. I also have no brokers in 32 other states that I can recommend. I personally have been ranked in the top 200 in the nation multiple times, top 100 veteran loan officer, 30 years experience. I've never missed a closing date on a purchase, and I've been the king of no-cost refi since 1996. So that resume will speak for itself. So let's get into it. If your home value is $500,000 and your loan amount was $400,000 that you took out, you put in your zip code. And let's put in that you're a veteran also, just to get VA rates. And within seconds, voila, interest rates are going to pop up. And these are live interest rates with my investors. Internet might be going a little bit slow here, but normally it's within a few seconds. Here we go. If you click on VA, you're going to have both of these. The top line is close to 2-point quote. Red is you paying points. And then close to a 1-point quote here on conventional, 5.99. And then you'll see a big gap here, 6 3/8. So a 0-point loan is in between these, okay? And then here's the line I want you to concentrate on. The one that's closest to paying a point. In this scenario, it's paying 1.3 is 6 5/8. So we're going to check out and find out what 6 1/2 is, just for the record, right? And then you got the VA rates down here. So keep in mind, this was super quick. So if you're shopping for a purchase or a refinance, within seconds, you can actually have live interest rates. There is a pop-up when you go to there from the internet. Ask for an email address, your name, and phone number, just so I can potentially contact you also. But let's just check out what that 5 1/2 was also. 6 1/2 on that was paying 0.944. So remember, we had 0.32, and then we had 1.344. I'm showing you what that middle is from this investor on the back end. It's 0.944 is what I want to use for the rest of this video, right? So I want to talk about no-cost refis here. So let's use the scenario, and this spreadsheet, I got 20 years of work on this, and it does a lot of different things. But here, the person, if they took out a loan for 400,000 at 7%, in their first payment was September of 2024. So they've made 13 payments, right? Just about a year. They have 347 payments left, and their balance is now 396. So I want to walk you through no cost refis, right? So here's the thing: is at 6.5, and that was paying the 0.944. Remember, we looked it up on the website. You would save $158 per month and $30 in principal. I want to walk you through a scenario here. And I'm going to show you that a lower interest rate loan, and a lot of people don't know this, if I compared 400 to 400, right, the very first payment on a loan with a lower interest rate at 7%, the principal would be $327. On a 6.5, it's $361. You pay more principal in the earlier years of a loan with a lower interest rate. Everyone talks about paying higher interest on at the earlier years of the loan. You pay more interest. You also pay more principal on a lower interest rate. So that's why this no-cost program actually is very powerful. Also, is understanding that, right? So there's two ways you save in that scenario. You save $158 a month in payment and $30 in principal. So let's look at this math. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to go backwards, right? And you never go backwards if it's a true no cost. If it's not, if it's a low cost or you're paying cost, then you have to recoup your cost and then figure out what your math actually is. A no cost makes it pretty simple, right? So in this scenario, if you wanted to pay the loan off at the very same time frame, I don't want to start over. Well, in that case, do a 29-year loan if you wanted to do that, right? That is an option, right? You can do 29 years, and you would still save $130 a month, and you'd be paying it off at the same principal time, right? Another option is I can tell you exactly what to pay. You can, of the $158 you're saving on a monthly basis, you can write a principal check every month for an extra $33, pays off the very same month, right? Now, if you're a savvy investor, right? A lot of my Freddie Mac clients would do this when they refied. I had a guy do this 13 times, no cost refis, and he just kept paying his normal payment. If he paid that $158 extra to the principal, actually pay the loan off in 304 months versus 347, you're saving 43 months by doing this refinance and just paying the same amount on a monthly basis that you're paying now, okay? So I just proved to you you don't go backwards on a no-cost refi. This is saving this person $109,000. That's like 3 years of college for kids, right? Maybe two as we get older. Now you might say, oh, Kevin, this $766. So if we look at the average closing cost with Republic Title on this, it'd be $45.04. And if we got 0.944 as a credit, that would be $37.38. So Kevin, I'm paying $766 in cost. Maybe, right? That's a maybe. So even if you were, you'd recoup your closing cost in about 4 months. I'll take that every day of the week. You can only refi really every 6 months because of clawbacks and EPOs. So if you do a refinance, keep your loan 150 days. You can start a refi, close after 180. But here's the thing, right? This still might be a no cost. There might be a scenario where you get an appraisal waiver, and so it costs you $200. You recoup all your costs within a period of a month. Then there's a different scenario. So I actually have a lender that, and it was the exact lender I showed you, the exact pricing that I have here, that you might get a title insurance waiver. And if we get that and we can do it through Doma Light, right? And this is through Fannie Mae, it would waive the lender's title insurance, and you would actually end up now making $200 on the same scenario, and it's a no cost. And then if by chance you had a home run, right, and got the appraisal waiver, also, you could actually make $766 doing this deal. So here's the thing. You never go backwards if it's a no-cost refi. And in general, you want to take your opportunities when they come. You don't know exactly how long interest rates are going to be low, right? So in general, you can go to First Meridian Mortgage's website and check rates. Even if you're not in a state that I'm licensed in, still call me. I may have the perfect broker owner just like me that I can refer you to, right? So let me go over two other things. You want to start a loan application with me? You can do it by hitting the green button. The other option you have is you can schedule an online appointment through Calendly. By clicking that button, it'll come up and you can schedule a consultation. My name is Kevin Retcher. I'm the owner of First Meridian Mortgage. As a Marine, it's my pleasure to serve you, okay? And to all the veterans out there, I say thank you for your service. And to all the Marines, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Semper Fi. I'll talk to you soon. But here's the thing, last note. Shopping for an interest rate does not have to be that hard. You can use my website as a guide, right? You might find that my rates are just better than everybody else's out there. I only make 1% on a mortgage or less, so you're really not paying a loan officer fee. Again, it's my pleasure to serve you. To all the Marines out there, I'm going to say Semper Fi. I'll talk to you soon.